1993, Bellevue, Washington. According to the 1993 Battelle Human Affairs Research Center study of male sexuality, 7.3 is the median number of sex partners American men have in their lifetime. Half of all men will have fewer than 7.3 partners, half will have more. Yet the mean average is 16.2. If 16.2 is Mr. Average, then no wonder so many men are sexually invisible to women. They aren't even average. What this means is the myth about men only wanting one thing is just that, a myth perpetuated by the relatively few men who have many more than 7.3 partners. I just fall a tiny little bit, 0.3, below the median average. But this proves what millions of men have always known. Most guys aren't out there humping like bunnies, nor, for that matter, are they even getting as much sex as a typical 20-year-old woman. If most men really aren't getting all that much sex, then what makes feminists say there's a double sexual standard? Unless they know something about themselves that the rest of us don't. Could it be that the stereotype of single men being more sexually active than single women is a myth? Yeah, I think so. As George Gilder noted in his book, Men and Marriage, in the younger age groups, quote, single men have less than half as much sexual activity as single females, close quote. How is this possible? Because despite that some women complain of a man shortage, there's actually a surplus of about 4.5 million single, separated, and divorced men competing for the attention of women of childbearing age. Keep in mind these statistics apply to the 1990s. I have no idea what the statistics are now, but I suspect they're kind of the same. And with such a surplus of men, it's easy to see why most women have the option of indulging in casual sex to an extent most men do not. But do they like it that way? According to feminist author and sex researcher Cher Haidt, 13% of single women do, while 83% would prefer more meaningful relationships. Still, Haidt found that 23% of single women eventually reject monogamy, while 72% do indulge in casual sex. How do men feel about this? Most men, according to Haidt, don't like the idea of casual sex. So, which gender really has a one-track mind? Which gender is more sexual? Which gender only wants one thing? I have no solid answers on that, but clearly, while feminists tell the world men are sex-crazed predators who rape and molest anything that moves, young women are having a lot more sex and a lot more casual sex than most men could imagine in their wildest dreams of lasciviousness. 2016, Olympia, Washington. In Civilization and Its Discontents, Sigmund Freud framed women as the more sex-obsessed and disruptive gender. And while on lecture tour in the late 1980s, feminist author and faux libertarian Naomi Wolf more or less agreed with him when she said that women are, quote, buckets of lust, close quote. In the 2010 movie Killers, which I enjoyed, Katherine Heigl's character says, quote, you ask a girl how many guys she slept with, and you have to double it, and then times it by 10, close quote. Today we know there's some truth to that, the carousel. Feminists complain that for men to call a woman a slut for sleeping around is a double standard. But as I said in my double standards video linked below, quote, all a woman needs to do to have sex with lots of men is to wait until she's asked and then say yes, while for a man to have sex with lots of women, he has to ask and be rejected by many women. So for women to have many partners is no accomplishment, while for men to have many partners is quite an accomplishment, close quote. While prophylactics and morning-after contraception has been around for hundreds of years, the unbridled female libido made possible by the birth control pill has not so much liberated women as contributed to the collapse of Western civilization. By itself, it might be a good thing, But combined with the social engineering efforts of the globalists, it's helping to destroy the nuclear family and bring down the middle class. And in the long run, that's a very bad thing for the vast majority of both women and men.